What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I'm doing my first game preview of the year because Pittsburgh, the Steelers, have gotten themselves into the playoffs as the 7th seed. They are going to visit Buffalo, playing the Buffalo Bills on Sunday at 1 p.m. in the AFC wildcard round. I wanted to bring you guys a really quick preview, kind of break down some team stats for the year, talk about some players on Buffalo that are a little dangerous, kind of who the favorites are, and what Pittsburgh could do to try and kind of stave off elimination and keep their run going. So I want to talk first about Pittsburgh offense versus Buffalo defense. These two teams are coming in as two of the hotter teams in the league right now. Pittsburgh has won 3 in a row, closing out the season. Mason Rudolph comes in, our once third-string quarterback, now our starter, starting in a playoff game. If you had told me 5 weeks ago that Mason Rudolph would be starting in a playoff game for us, I would have thought you were insane. But Mason has gone 3-0, including beating Baltimore in that ugly game to get ourselves in. Tennessee helped us beating Jacksonville, getting us in. Buffalo has won like 5 or 6 in a row. They've been really hot. Ever since starting the season, very, very skittish. They came out very slow this year. Did not look like their old selves anymore. And then Josh Allen just kind of took the team on his back and ran them into the playoffs here in the second half of the season. So 2 teams on winning streaks that got themselves in the last week of the season or so. Buffalo again coming in here. Got to be favored. They obviously are a higher seed. They're playing at home, and we're going to be playing in some pretty rough terrain. Buffalo in January can be pretty snowy, pretty rough. Thankfully, Pittsburgh has played in those games before, including this really nasty rain game last week against Baltimore. So Pittsburgh coming in, I think, is a team that is even more conditioned for the real running game in the nasty weather. So let's talk about kind of Pittsburgh offense versus Buffalo defense. Now, Pittsburgh offense coming in very low stats, one of the weaker teams in the league as far as total offense and everything, but have found their way a little bit. So stat-wise, Pittsburgh has the 25th ranked total offense with 304 yards per game, the 25th overall passing offense with 186 yards per game. The strength is Pittsburgh's rushing offense, 13th overall with 118 yards per game, and our scoring offense is a lowly 27th in the NFL with 17.9 points per game. But with Mason Rudolph at the helm the last couple of weeks, of course the Baltimore game's kind of a wash being so ugly, but the last 2 games before Baltimore, Pittsburgh comes out and tops the 30-point margin twice in a row and has their 2 of their 3 highest yardage performances of the season. So that 27th in scoring and 25th in total offense is kind of skewed because the Mason Rudolph era has had 2 very good games out of the last 3. The rushing game is going to be our strength on offense here. Obviously, Najee pounding the rock is going to be super important for us, doing what he did the last couple of weeks, 2 consecutive 100-yard games, running through tackles, finishing strong, falling forward, picking a hole, and being decisive. That's when Najee is always at his best, and he's been his hottest in the last couple of games. Jaylen Warren has been really good up until last week. He had several fumbles last week. He's got to hold the ball, especially if we're going to be in snowy terrain. But it's going to be the hard running of Najee inside and the kind of hard running and short passing game for Jaylen Warren outside that's going to try to keep us kind of holding the ball, time of possession. Grinding it out is going to be the way to do it. Pittsburgh's going to have to keep the Buffalo offense off the field. They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to dump off to their running backs. They're going to have to convert third downs and stay on the field for long, sustained drives to give Mason Rudolph a chance to hit those one-on-one deep shots and those slants for long plays like he has in the last couple of weeks. The Buffalo defense overall is ranked pretty good. They are 9th overall in total defense at 307 yards per game given up, which is right around where Pittsburgh is, so it's playing into Buffalo's hands there. 7th in passing defense is Buffalo with 197 yards per game. 15th in rush defense, that is their weakest point, which is our strength, at 110.6 yards per game. And they're 4th in scoring defense allowed at 18.3 points per game. So it seems that a lot of Buffalo's strengths are our weaknesses and vice versa. What I like is Buffalo's in the middle of the league in rush defense. That has been their biggest problem this season, and that is where Pittsburgh's strength has lied and where we're going to have to rely in this ugly game. I think if we keep it a low-scoring game, keep it ugly, keep holding the ball via the run and keeping the clock moving and keeping our offense on the field for longer sustained drives is going to be our strength. I think the best thing for us is to use Pat Freiermuth, let him kind of sit down in the zone defense, let him kind of find one-on-ones for some short plays across the middle of the field, just some little dig routes, little crosser routes, little things where he can get 7 to 10 yards, break a tackle, convert on third downs. Freiermuth is going to be a key, and I also think that obviously Deontay Johnson's route running is great, but in the snow it's going to be a little compromised. So yes, get him a couple quick outs and things, but trying not to have Mason Rudolph holding the ball too long, trying not to have him wait for guys to get open. You want to see George Pickens get a couple one-on-ones. We didn't take any targets to him last week, no shots downfield. So it's going to be important for us to get clean handoffs, get Calvin Austin jet sweeps, and get Pickens a couple one-on-ones. Take 3 or 4 shots downfield. There's a good chance that Pickens is going to catch it or it's going to draw some pass interference plays, which we're looking for. Now, defensively for the Steelers, things are hopefully going to get a little bit easier. Minkah Fitzpatrick's still banged up, but he said he's certainly going to play this week. He said he was held out just for precautionary reasons last week. So getting Minkah Fitzpatrick, our second best overall defensive player, back is going to be a big key for us. We're also getting back Damontae Kazee, who was suspended for a few games for a hit that I didn't think was worthy of suspension. Certainly a penalty, certainly not suspension, but we're getting both of our safeties back this week, which also now gives us the opportunity to move down guys like Patrick Peterson and Eric Rowe. I think you want to keep one of those guys at safety and move one down to corner so that you have more flexibility at corner. You have more sure guys at safety, and now you can take Levi Wallace off the field so that you're not relying on guys like Wallace or Pierre to cover. You can have guys like Peterson or even Rowe, who's played corner in the past, covering at corner. So now you're upgrading your safety spot with Minkah and KZ, and you're able to run 3 safety sets, or you're able to bump guys down in Rowe or Peterson to play corner alongside JPJ. So you've got a much improved secondary. One thing you're going to have a hard time with is your linebackers. Number 1, TJ Watt is going to be out for this game, if not for the entire season. So you are coming into a playoff game against a good Buffalo team without your best player. TJ will not be out there. It is going to be incumbent upon us defensively to come out there and get Highsmith and Cam Hayward, our leaders, and also the Marcus Golden and Nick Herbig, the backup outside linebackers, getting pressure on Josh Allen. Allen is a hard guy to get down. He's strong. He extends the play. He is very much the walking embodiment of Ben Roethlisberger, where he can bounce off guys and extend plays, and that's where he makes his best plays. You want to get in his face, and you want to force turnovers. Josh Allen has turned the ball over a lot this year, and it's caused a lot of Buffalo's early downturns. You really want to do the best you can to get up in Josh Allen's face and try and force turnovers, which Pittsburgh is quite good at for the most part. Buffalo's offense overall, we'll cover that now. They are ranked 4th in total offense, which numbers are deceiving. They started very slow, but they've gotten hot. 4th in total offense for Buffalo at 374 yards per game. 8th in passing in total at 244 yards per game. Buffalo 7th in rushing at 130 yards per game. And 6th in scoring at 26.5 points per game. That comes into, again, Josh Allen being better at not turning the ball over. It comes into them starting to find Stephon Diggs a little bit. They couldn't find him for a lot of the season. I feel like Gabe Davis, and to a lesser extent their tight ends, were their main kind of threats on offense, and they weren't finding Diggs as much. Now Diggs is getting downfield more, which puts Diggs and Gabe Davis one-on-one. Now you've got Diggs, a very strong possession receiver, and Gabe Davis being your deep threat, with Khalil Shakir coming out of the slot that can be dangerous. Now they're more balanced and as a passing offense, holding the ball better. More importantly, James Cook has really found his way as a runner. You see top 7 in rushing, James Cook at 130 yards per game as a team total. But James Cook has really turned them around because he can run the ball, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he gives them more dimensions for play action and things like that, giving more time to Josh Allen to, again, not turn the ball over as much and find more receivers to give them more variance. So I think the finding of Stephon Diggs more has come from James Cook running the ball better and receiving the ball a lot out of the backfield. Something to watch out for. Pittsburgh in total defense was 21st this year at 342 yards per game. 17th in pass defense at 227 yards per game. 19th in rushing defense at 115.4 yards per game. And 6th in scoring defense, their strength, at just giving up 19.1 points per game. So this would make you think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. not only, again, are we coming off of two teams that are starting to find their identities and hold the ball for longer and not turn the ball over as much, but you've got two of the top 6 scoring defenses in the league. Buffalo 4th at 18 points a game, Pittsburgh 6th at 19 points a game. So you expect a snowy, ugly, gross game that is very much like Pittsburgh versus Baltimore last week. What Pittsburgh has to do defensively, again, our biggest weakness has been watching the middle of the field. It's been our inside linebackers trying to covering tight ends, covering halfbacks. This plays into Buffalo's strength. Like I said, they use a lot of James Cook out of the backfield, and James Cook can make a lot of guys miss tackling-wise. Getting our gaps at the inside linebackers and tackling guys and covering the inside middle of the field, covering halfbacks, covering tight ends, has been a problem for us. Moreover, the two tight ends of Buffalo have kind of been their most consistent options. Where Gabe Davis is more boom or bust as far as his big plays, where Khalil Shakir is good for some speed but doesn't always catch the ball or isn't always targeted downfield as much, and Stephon Diggs starting the year off not being targeted much at all, you have guys like the rookie Dalton Kincaid and the trusted backup Dawson Knox now running these two tight end sets where they're getting open in the middle of the field. So Buffalo's most consistent targets have come from Cook, Kincaid, and Knox, and that is where Pittsburgh has struggled the most. Where Pittsburgh has shined the most is getting teams in 3rd and long, 2nd and long, getting your sacks, getting your pressures, getting your turnovers. And while we're going to have two good turnover guys back on the team in Fitzpatrick and KZ, we're missing our biggest sack and forced fumble guy in TJ Watt. So you have to think momentum-wise and number-wise, you have to think Buffalo is by far the favorite. They're on the bigger hot streak. They're a healthier overall team. They've been hotter for longer, and they are starting to really hit their groove as we're playing a nasty game in their home stadium. So I've got to think Buffalo is favored to win. If I had to make a prediction, which I won't on this channel, I'd predict Buffalo gets the win. That being said, there's some magic in the air. Rudolph, the red-nosed quarterback, is coming in off 3 consecutive wins, including winning an ugly game in similar conditions to what I think we'll see this week, just more snow instead of rain. But we're hot right now, and if we can find the pressure from guys like Highsmith, guys like Nick Herbig, if we can force some turnovers, Buffalo has proven they're very beatable this year. They were almost out of the playoffs 5 weeks ago. They are very mathematically beatable this year if we can cause Josh Allen to force some turnovers, and we can shut down those short receiver options in the two tight ends and the running back. So is Buffalo favored? Absolutely. Is Pittsburgh having a chance to win? Hey, we're getting hotter on offense. We're coming off 2 of our best games of the entire year on offense, and we're getting back 2 of our safeties, including an all-pro on defense. So yes, Pittsburgh's got a puncher's chance against anybody in the AFC this year. That includes Miami. That includes KC. Yes, those teams are better than us overall. Yes, those teams would be and should be favored overall. But Pittsburgh's got a puncher's chance. If they can do what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks in holding the ball, running the ball, playing smart, taking a few shots with Mason, I think we've got a chance. So yes, I think Buffalo could win this game. Pittsburgh could also win this game. There's your preview. There's your breakdown of who Pittsburgh has to look out for and what the numbers are. What do you guys think down below? Who do you think is favored to win this game, and who do you think is going to win this game? Give me your score predictions down below. I'm not bold enough to predict a score right now, but I want Pittsburgh to win this game, and I think we have a shot. Tell me in the comments below what you think the final score of this game is going to be, and who could lead Pittsburgh to victory, who the biggest threats in Buffalo are, and who could lead Pittsburgh to victory. Can Mason Rudolph come from being our 3rd-string quarterback on the bench 4 weeks ago to being a playoff-winning quarterback? Could that happen? We've seen crazier things happen in the past. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy these preview videos. Obviously, I'll be coming at you guys Sunday. I'm going to go out for the game with a friend, come back Sunday night, and give you guys the rundown of this game, hopefully giving you guys a review of a Steeler victory. What do you guys think? Do you want to see more of these preview videos if we do win this week? Tell me in the comments below, and I will see you guys Sunday. Go Steelers.